Alright everybody, I'm sunburnt, but that's not what I'm here to tell you. So this is the episode with Crispy Pro, and I just wanted to say the amount of technical difficulties we experienced while filming this episode was insane. It really kind of fucked the episode up. We filmed for like an hour and a half, but there's only like an hour of footage, not even that. I do apologize that it's not the best episode of all time, and I had to chuck in pieces of the 60th trailer and some stills in the episode just to cover up some technical stuff that was happening on the screen that just didn't look good. Also, the audio isn't the best that it's ever been. I am going through something quite big right now in my personal life, so this whole editing process has just been quite difficult to deal with. I hope you enjoy it either way. Oh god. Alright. Enjoy. Hello everybody, welcome back to the 50% Doctor Who podcast. I am joined today by fan favorite Crispy Pro is in the house. Ooh. What is
Hi,
up?
Everyone.
All the way from Brizzy.
Hi, how we doing?
All the way from Brizzy. Good to see ya.
Brizzy boy.
I'm playing applause, but you can't hear it. Thank you so much for coming on today.
That's all right. I always hear applause.
Always, whenever Crispy walks in a room, we applaud the king. Thank you so much for coming on today because this is the last show for Aiden. That selfish man comes back from New Zealand.
Grr.
We don't like Aiden anymore until he comes back, okay? He left us here on our own to go away to New Zealand. So it was about, what, 3 months ago, you hit me up and said, I'll do like a takeover from Aiden on the show, which I really appreciate. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It was, I love that.
All right.
I was going to ask you anyway. So the fact that you asked me was actually really sweet. So I do really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I hope you had a good Christmas as well. I hope you had a great New Year so far.
Too,
Who's There is back, your podcast. You uploaded one episode so far, is that right?
Yeah, we're back and we're going to try and do what you guys do and do every single week. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, you guys do mostly every week, don't you?
Most we tried, but then I got the Rona. Troy, I don't think he got the Rona. He got quite sick. So we had to have a few weeks off, but I think this is an exclusive for the 50%ers. We might have some like safety episodes recorded for those moments where, you know, we need a week off. One of us is sick. One of us needs some time away. That's fine. Get it done.
I love that. So is that just like safe like topic videos where like there's no news, it's just a topic video saved in the vault in case you need
episodes.
I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah. So we last had you guys on for the was it Who to Be Buried? No, it was the hot takes. That was great. I think that went really well actually.
We did some hot takes. I love doing the hot takes videos. I'll still never forgive you for Silence in the Library. My goodness, that was spicy. That was one of the spiciest takes.
That's funny.
Heard, but that's okay. That's fine.
It's funny because like I thought my first one was going to be the hot take where I said season 11 blows, but it turns out that we had a lot of season 4 fans in the house, which was I didn't know we had, but. You know, a lot has happened. Did you enjoy your break though? Did you have a good? How did you? Because I know I felt for every Doctor Who YouTuber on Christmas morning because I woke up first thing on Christmas Day. I see Doctor Who Twitter account tweets tomorrow the trailer, and I hate to say this, but it's all I could think about. And I was like messaging Aiden going. You know, I'll do the reaction, you do the breakdown, and it's like I'm supposed to be spending time with my family. And I saw you jumped on it, didn't you? You got your videos out. Was that hard for you or?
I didn't. This is probably the first time in forever that I didn't do anything.
That's right. You just did it on
Boxing Day.
Was it Who's There that you did? That was it. That was it. It was Troy. So is it a conscious effort from you to be like, I'm not going to do this because you were like on holiday with your family, or was it just like impossible? Because that stuff interests me because I find it really hard to switch off from YouTube. Like I feel like I just want to do it just to get it out. But like, what was your situation with that?
Well, I was very, very tempted to do a reaction and all that, but This year, weirdly enough, was like the least Christmassy that I had like ever felt, and I was like, I need some family time. I saw the trailer was going to happen, and I woke up first thing Boxing Day, and I was like, oh, I could get my laptop out, could make a reaction, but no, I just watched it in bed and tweeted about being like, this is cool, this is great, beat the mate. But apart from that, beat the mate. Apart from that, I was just like, yeah, nah, this is for me. I'm just gonna spend some time with family and not do much on it. I've mentioned it in videos to come,
right?
But I didn't really do anything. That was all Troy, so
yeah,
that was cool.
Well, Troy seems Troy. I think the good thing about Troy is I think he very quickly just jumps into like creator mode. I think that's a very like since he's a streamer primarily, I think that's a very streamer-esque type of attitude to have, where it's like, okay, it's come out, it's like a bit of an inconvenience, but I'll just do it. And I respect that about him. But with me, it was like, it was quite hard because and the worst part is we didn't really know when it was like going to come out, that it was going to drop at like 5 a.m. And I was like, I'm not getting up. Like, I'm not repeating up.
We're not doing that nonsense. Come on, really?
I was like, when I wake up, Davies? I'll film it and then I'll put it out and it'll do how it'll do how it does. Because I've had a similar conversation with Aiden about just before Christmas actually, about how like, he was saying like, he made a good point. He's like, there is more to life than YouTube. And I heard that voice in my head when I just gotten back from the city. It was about 3 a.m. and I was in my Uber like 5 minutes away from where I was staying. And that's when the Shooty costume dropped. And I was like, I can do a video.
I think I might have heard that in an episode of you guys.
Yeah. I was like, I could do it.
That's so funny.
I could do a vid.
I could do this now.
I was just like, nah, there's more to life than doing it. But unfortunately, I was talking to Josh about it in the car. I was like, yeah, you're kind of lucky that you don't do like reactions, and that was like purpose of them. And I respect that because it's a good way to get people to watch, but also unfortunately, it's like it's a bit of a burden on like you as a creator. But can I just say that I'm such a fan of you. I love your content. It's actually pretty wild to me that I said this about Josh, like I didn't talk to you like this time last year. I think we exchanged a few tweets, the old Twitters.
Yeah.
But I recall trying to get you to send a little message in for the 100th episode, and it kind of like fell through, and then I think I messaged you about...
Didn't I?
Yeah, I can't remember what happened. I think, that's right. I DM'd you and I said, can you send in like a video message for your review of In the Forest of the Shite? And that was basically me. I did enough balls to ask you to come on the show and review it with us, because I was like, your time is precious.
No. I'm not that scary.
But it's kind of weird because, like, not to sound like kind of strange, but I kind of like. I was in like year 10 when I first started watching your content, and it actually kind of like blows my mind now that like I'm like good mates with you and you come on the show, and like also like with Josh. Like I guess when I started the show, like I think my two main goals was to like have you guys on, and we did that last year, and like I'm incredibly grateful. Like it's just like it's a dream come true, to be honest with you. And like honestly though, like it means more to me though that we're like mates than like obviously just like doing the show together, as much as I love doing that. But it's just like I just want to say thank you for all the love and support you've given us, because you didn't have to do that, and I do question why ask, because I don't know what we do that's so great. All right. But thank you so much.
We're Aussie, mate. We're Aussie.
Mm-hmm.
No. Absolutely.
Damn straight.
You can be as soppy as you want. It's an honor to talk to more content creators, and I love what you guys are doing. I love the mission statement of the 50% brand. I love all of that. I love what you guys are doing. And yeah, when our paths cross, because they will, we're going to hang out. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
Down the pub.
It's going to be fantastic.
Straight down the pub.
Down at the pub.
I love that. Yeah. Hopefully we were talking off camera about a possible Brizzy trip for me, or probably like Gold Coast for me, because Brisbane and Gold Coast, they're like an hour apart, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
it's not that far.
yeah, so a possible Gold Coast trip for me. And then,
are you looking for confirmation from me? I mean, is this
I don't,
my
well,
producer job?
I went with you to Gold Coast.
Okay.
I went Gold Coast twice.
Yeah, hey, it
in,
was
like,
fun. It was a good time.
2 years I went
Love
twice.
Gold Coast.
I went like December in 2019. No, 2018, December 2019. And it was dope.
Yeah, we went right before COVID, and
It was right before
it was just as good as you remember it being right before.
It was
COVID.
it was so good. Like, it was so fun. Like, we had like the best time. But I would love to. I literally spoke to my best friend Mitch, who I talk about on the show all the time. I was like, hey, come on, let's do a Gold Coast trip. And the best thing is, we're gonna go see good old Crispy Pro, get some videos filmed, and hopefully you're gonna come to Perth. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I love it.
It just sucks we're in the same
We'll make
country,
it
but
happen.
we don't get to hang out because different
No,
states.
I don't think people realize how large Australia is. You know, it's a bit of a hike between Brisbane and Perth. I don't think we could be further apart in Australia.
Yeah, if
I'm
you
honest.
tried. Like, if you tried, like, it's pretty gnarly. But yeah, again, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to talk about a few things here today.
All right, mate. Absolutely.
We were originally going to like maybe review something, but I thought screw it, because we did Trial of Time Lords with Josh, and I did Sharda with Dan the other day, and
Yes, we did.
so I just thought we would like do some just speculation and talk, because that's what I love. I think the idea of the 60th coming out this year is like incredibly exciting, and I thought the first thing that we could start talking about is a thing that I'm really hoping will happen this year, but also I'm kind of preparing myself that it might not. So, and I wanted to ask you first before I get into it. I wanted to ask you,
Okay.
so we know David Tennant is coming back for the 60th. He's going to be the Doctor for 3 more episodes. And we know that Donna's coming back. So, do you think we're going to see other Doctors in the 60th anniversary? Like, we're talking Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi. Jodie would be interesting considering she just left, but it might happen. What do you think? Like, and you can, it doesn't have to be all those people. You could pick like a specific person, like maybe just Peter. But like, let me know, because I love talking to people about this. I loved all the theories, so fire away.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I think, yes, there will be. I'm not quite sure in what capacity. I think it'll have to be something different, because we're not really sure what way Russell is going with this special. One of the main criticisms I've seen, and an upcoming video that I'm going to make for Russell T Davies, is that, the 60th just feels like a celebration of Series 4. Basically, you could tag this episode at the end of time. At the end of time, and it would just be the same thing. But I think the entire arc of the 60th will be the sense of identity. Why do I have this face again? And so hopefully in that, maybe we'll get it might just be as simple as like a flashback, and they might film a little scene with Capaldi and stuff. They might not be in the main narrative, or maybe they'll have some like weird cameo where David Tennant is like randomly turns into Peter Capaldi or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be a multi-doctor. Okay, I know, right? But I don't think it's going to be like a multi-doctor story in that way. But who knows?
Right.
Like, there are 3 specials. We have to keep that in mind. There are lots of possibilities.
Pretty big.
The centenary with all the classic Doctors coming back, that was like a huge shock for me. I'm sure for you as well. And I felt like they couldn't do something like that without keeping it from getting leaked, and that never got leaked. I mean, it was like rumors, but it never got leaked. So I think they could actually bring back like New Who Doctors without us knowing about it. To what extent, I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's just really exciting. I'm so keen for it. What Doctor would you like to see come back the most?
Oh, that's a very good question, Connor. If they get Eccleston, I will eat my shoe. If they are able to pull that off,
Me too. Me too.
I will be shocked. But I think they could, because he's kind of come around to the idea of Doctor Who again. He's doing more big finish, more conventions.
I'd love to see him back. Honestly, like out of everybody, I think he is the one that I'd love to see back the most. I think he gets a fat second. All right, my next question is: how excited are you that Rachel Talalay is coming back to direct, and how much of a king is Russell for listening to the fans? Because she is my personal favorite director from Doctor Who. And favorite TV director. So, how excited are you that she's coming back?
I'm very excited. It's been a hot minute since we've had her presence in Doctor Who, and she's directed some of the most stunning episodes, hands down. So I think it's a genius play, and one of the like simplest moves that Russell could do to please us Doctor Who fans by getting a fan favorite director back, which is nice to see. And I saw that for series 14 they have a Jodie Whittaker era director as well. The person that directed
Oh really?
Monument and Rosa is back for
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Series 14.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Russell's listening to the fans, and I think whatever you think of Ghost Monument and Rosa, you got to admit they're pretty. They're pretty episodes.
They are pretty.
So
And Rosa's great.
I expect more directors coming back. So
what have you been thinking about the big sluggy boy that's going on around in the filming at the moment?
Boy?
The big sluggy boy, yeah.
I think he's fantastic. I am excited to see what the final product looks like. I feel like this is just a shell right now, and they'll add a bunch of CGI elements to it. I don't know what it is. Some people are suggesting it's a cloning slug, because I don't know if you saw some filming pictures and there were like multiples of people going on. It looks strange. I don't really know what the goal is there, but it feels very Russell T Davies. It's nice to see these public filming images. It's nice to see these massive monsters just in the streets. It's quite fun, and I'm very excited for the new era of the show, basically.
Do you still feel like we're in like a dream, or like a parallel world, that we have Russell back? Like, I still sometimes have to like remind myself and like pinch myself this isn't a dream. Like, he actually is back. Like, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Like, it's insane.
It is strange. It's a weird thing that has happened in the Doctor Who community, getting a fan favorite showrunner back. We're always talking about, we want this Doctor back, we want this character back, but you don't really hear much. Oh yeah, it'd be cool if this showrunner came back. A lot of people said it as a joke, being like, "Oh my gosh, what is this era? Get Russell back.
Bring back Russell."
And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, Russell is back. And then, as we bloody well predicted, I can almost guarantee you, like, in this new age of technology and social media, Russell's going to get torn to shreds for doing, political stuff. But he's always done political stuff. And
definitely.
It's just that new age, and people have way too much of a platform to be way too loud about a silly little sci-fi show. But oh well, I'm excited so much, and I love Russell's writing since he left. One I've never seen years and years, but I loved It's a Sin, and I'm excited to see how Russell has grown as a writer, what he could bring to Doctor Who, and what he would do with how technology has changed. Because the effects budget's going to be huge. The sky's the limit for him, and I'm just very excited to see what he does. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think I mentioned this very briefly on our crossover last time when we're doing the hot takes. And I said something along the lines of, as much as I love it, I think it's a little bit of a cheap move. And I think that this is a controversial opinion, but I think that I think the show was in a place where it was gonna maybe take a hiatus for a few years. I think they needed someone like Russell to come back, and I think they needed a plan, like bringing back, like you said, season 4 2.0. I think they needed a plan like that to get fans who are maybe just like, the diehard fans will watch whatever happens, like us. But there are people who have dropped off. And I think they needed something like that to get people back on, which I think is I'm okay with that idea, because I'm okay with that idea if they stay with Shooty, because like, even like, I see it in like my family and my friends who've stopped watching Doctor Who, like, I say like David's coming back, and they're very quick to say like, "Oh, that's great! Like, I'll watch that." But what I don't want is for, you know, Shooty's era to come up, and then they go, "All right, we're done now. We watched David Tennant's 3 episodes, and that's it." And I hope Russell gives, and we know Shooty is in the 60th to some extent. I hope that Russell gives people enough of Shooty to make people. I think the 60th is going to end with Shooty at the helm, and then it will lead into the Christmas special, hopefully.
Oh yeah,
and that will hopefully entice people enough to want to get going with it. So I think it's a little bit of a cheap move, but who am I to complain? Like, do I looking at yeah? Go on. So go ahead. That Zoom delay.
No, just in
we love that.
regards to it, like yeah, like the cheap moveness of it, I completely understand, and I think they're very much marketing it like, hey, David Tennant's back. We got the bloody Alon Z in the trailer, so we basically know that this is the 10th Doctor again. Like they're very
he's no different.
Brought up the whole Donna memory loss thing. Like but of course they're going to address that in the 60th. So I think what the plan is right now, entice the as many people as possible, entice the old fans, entice the new fans, do that. Then once people are watching the episodes, 3 specials are more of a character piece on the Doctor, discovering their having their regeneration again of like a similar face for the first time. That's going to be the whole shtick. He's going to have a massive identity crisis, and then by the end, I feel like we're going to get one of the best handovers to a Doctor we have ever seen, because no doubt Russell had in mind, Shooty is the natural successor to Whittaker, but we're getting David in for these 3, and it's going to be one of the best passing of the baton specials we've ever seen, maybe since Matt Smith's cameo in Deep Breath. And I think hopefully the entire narrative will set up nicely that people will carry on to Shooty Gatwa. And keep in mind, we'll get a Christmas special, and the 60th
very soon after,
sometime at the end of November. So it's not that far of a gap for people. So
True.
I'm hoping and praying that people will stick around for Shooty, and Shooty himself is a draw as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
The man's got millions of Instagram followers, quite a wide public range.
You mentioned the Matt Smith cameo in Deep Breath. Do you think that Jodie is going to make a cameo in any of the 60th specials, a la Matt Smith in Deep Breath?
A very good question. I think Jodie's probably one of the least likely, but no, because I don't think they would do that kind of phone call trick again or something to that effect. Maybe like Jodie's doctor left a message, but I don't know if they're gonna bring Jodie back. It would have to be some kind of flashback, or the Celeste. I can imagine a scene where Neil Patrick Harris's supposed celestial toy maker conjures up these visions, and we just get cameo after cameo of classic monsters and new Who Doctors like that. And maybe Jodie will say 3 lines as she walks past the camera as the Doctor, and she blows up a Dalek. I've got ideas. Russell, hit me up.
There is also some realistic, because wasn't she pregnant, or at least pregnant recently or something? So yeah, I guess that does complicate things logistically. So.
I agree. I think she it's gonna be a really interesting thing to handle Jodie with it, because I don't want her to be left out of it. I've been very open with her being like, she should be like, I've been very open about her being like my least connected to New Who Doctor, but I don't want her to not be a part of it. I think that it would be very cool to have her in it to some extent, like said Deep Breath phone call. I don't know though. I think the funniest and coolest thing is, despite I got a little bit of shit for this, I said in my reaction video to the trailer that I think they released it a little bit too early, which I still stand by the way. I know you guys just released a clip on it on Who's There.
I stand that by as well.
It's so early, but I think that they might not be showing as much, and I agree, like there is a ton of stuff behind the scenes we haven't seen. But I think we've also got to remember as well, like a 60th anniversary is like, we get 50 and then the next big one is like 75. I think that's the something out of like the next one's around 75. Like 60, if we do just end up just getting David Tennant, as much as it might kind of suck, I think they'll be like, oh, it was 60 years. Like it wasn't 50, it wasn't 75. Like, you know, it's you kind of just got to deal with it a little bit. I don't know.
I get that. I understand that. I think, fan expectation is definitely something not to be messed with. But I feel like Russell's very in tune with what people want in an anniversary special.
Absolutely.
So it might not be a multi-doctor story in that sense, but I would be shocked if they're not alluded to in some regard, in something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
on the street is that Susan's going to appear in it, and
I've heard that as well.
Strong rumor.
I've heard that as well, yeah. And I think that
I don't know.
And look, like people like, you know, we've had like Matt and Pete say like constantly that they're not going to be in it, they're not going to be doing it, and it's like, you know, these guys are like actors. Like I hate to use the Spider-Man No Way Home theory, but that's pretty much like this. They're going to say they're not in it. You know, they deny it for years, and I think that's the kind of thing where, like, you know, we hop back on it. But here's the thing as well. I want to ask you about this because I think we had like a really, really, really interesting conversation about the Disney Plus deal. And I had a great conversation with Josh as well about it. And I think you had one of the most like unique takes about it. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but you opened my eyes to stuff that I may not have considered before. And I think that's a good thing. Do you think like now that we get this like Disney Plus deal, like do you think we're going to be getting like live watch alongs or like the episode be available like straight out to the UK? Because like this is the kind of the 60th is something that you're not going to want to like sleep on. Like you're going to want to watch it straight away. And I wonder with like Disney Plus, like do you think like they will add the episodes like either the second they start airing in the UK, or will it be like simulcast? Like do you think they're going to take it seriously like that, or are they going to leave us in the dark for a few hours and chuck up the episode later?
That's a really good point. I haven't actually thought about the actual release side of it, and that's interesting. If we're going off what they did with, I think ABC iView was pretty good in getting the episode out as soon as
they were great. Yeah,
finished in the UK. They were usually pretty quick at that. But with this new Disney Plus deal, it would be interesting to see if they do it simulcast at the same time. They might do it as soon as it's finished, because I feel like some people out there will be like, oh, if it's live on Disney Plus the exact same time, some people are going to skip to the end and have a look.
Yeah, exactly.
And see Matt Smith in it or something like that.
Yeah,
even though it'll just be like an hour, I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping, because they're usually good with their Disney, like, you know, Disney shows. They'll usually release at the same time all around the world, of course. But yeah, since this show is primarily a BBC program, Plus deal is just for worldwide distribution. I don't know. I hope they don't leave us for hours. I'd say at the
it's minimum, tricky.
It would be as soon as the episode ends in the UK. But if it's at the same time, good on you. I'll take that. Absolutely.
Because you don't want to encourage piracy either, which is like a big reason why they're doing this. Because like we have like I'm sure you guys had as well. We had fans from India and China reaching out to us saying like we can now watch it, and I think that's incredible. It's one of the best things about it is that fans from countries where you probably think people don't really watch Doctor Who can now watch it. And like, you know, they were openly talking about how they had to fucking pirate it because they can't watch it. So if they can handle it in a good way, that'd be dope. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because, like, you know, it is like primarily, like you said, a BBC show. It'd be interesting to see if like the BBC are like, no, it airs on BBC first, and then the rest of the world get it, and it's like kind of like what we had before. But I'm wondering about like delays. I don't know if we'll get like a set time. Another thing as well, I wanted to ask you, Crispy, is do you believe that we might just be getting the final 60th special in November? Do you think we might be getting a Easter special? A special in maybe, I don't know, July, and then maybe one in November? Or do you really think we're going to get all these free specials all in like 1, 2, 3 in November, whether it be over a few weeks or like a few days? What do you think about that?
2 answers. the first one in regards to Disney Plus stuff. I don't know. Doctor Who's pretty notorious for leaking, as it does already.
Yes. Yeah. True.
But I think it will be interesting to see, because with Disney, they are a massive like shareholder in this new era or whatever. But the only thing I've really seen Disney do is, like, if there's a mistake in their episodes, they can just go back and edit it. So I don't know. I think I mean, of course there is a risk, but Disney Plus would have so much money behind them that I think they think their servers would be secure enough. But Connor, I think all episodes will air in November, but I don't know. I know. I'm sorry.
No.
But I think Russell. Oh, maybe he wouldn't have told us by now. I don't know. Here we go. I've got Capaldi there on my beautiful Doctor Who calendar.
Okay, that's a clue. That's a clue. That's a clue. November 2023.
That's a Russell.
Peter Capaldi. Come on.
Wow.
Have a few options as to when this damn thing's going to air. I think the first episode will be on the 60th anniversary on a Thursday. Not ideal for them, but it'll do well. It's the first episode of the 60th.
Yeah.
The second episode, I think, will air either the Saturday or the Sunday directly following that.
Okay.
Okay, so a few days gap there, maybe. And then the final episode will air either this Saturday, the 2nd of December, or the 9th of December. And look, another hint.
It's a hint. It's Jodie. Come on.
Appearance.
It's Jodie.
Whoa.
She's in it. Come on. To get a bit personal now, Crispy, we're at this part of the interview now. Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you excited or are you scared?
Hang on. I'm almost ready for this. Okay. Hang on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Now I'm ready for this. Here we go.
Oh my goodness me. Don't worry.
Switched up the angle.
I'll be nice. So I'm interested.
Okay.
As a YouTuber, okay, Crispy, I know you're probably gonna disagree with this. You're a big YouTuber these days, okay? You're a big boy YouTuber. All right.
Moderate
all right.
YouTuber. Moderate success.
My first question is, what do your friends think about your YouTube channel?
That's funny. That's no one's ever asked me that.
That's why I'm here.
Here's the thing. I was embarrassed about it for quite some time. Being a YouTuber, it wasn't really like that big a thing back in the day. You had the Who Addicts, Mr. TARDIS, maybe were a few that I followed, but back then, it wasn't really, the beautiful market that it is today.
Yeah.
And so when I started out, it was really, really nice. It was really, really fun. But from my friends' perspective, I was like, oh, I've got a YouTube channel. A lot of them knew that I loved filmmaking, making videos and stuff. I would always be the person at school that would, make the senior video, make the video for the the volleyball trailer, hype everyone up to come to volleyball type thing. I was always the go-to guy. As the channel developed, I think people actually started taking my channel seriously when the BBC noticed.
I think it's an interesting thing because especially with everyone doing the whole podcast thing as well now, this is a thing that I have as well. It's you mentioned the podcast and it's not like it was before. Everyone's well, so is everybody. What makes you so different? And so I'm not trying to cross the line here. What do your family think about it? Because I have an interesting relationship with my family and YouTube. I don't say anything you don't feel like you want to, but just what do you think? What do your family think about it?
That's a good question. Hang on, let me ask you a question. Do you
go ahead.
Are you embarrassed by having a Doctor Who podcast? What do your friends think about it?
I think it's interesting because I've always wanted to be an entertainer. And I've always wanted to entertain people.
I got that.
And it's what? Damn, Crispy, fuck.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to just do something. And I think the interesting thing about this show though is it came out the blue and I was not in the mood or in the headspace to do a show. And Alien was let's do it. And I was fuck it. It won't go anywhere. It won't do anything. Yeah. And it became what it has. And it's grown. And I think, I'm very Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you folks. Sorry for those kids listening. When I've had a few beers at the pub, I do like to bring it up a little bit. Okay.
Ah.
All right. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. I'll bring up that I do the old YouTubes and I do a podcast. Because it's like kind of impressive, but also like the second anyone asks me what it's about, I either say it's a Doctor Who podcast or you don't want to know. That's the only way I say. I say like, oh, you don't want to know. But as for my friends, obviously like Dan here is like very supportive. He's in the film scene as well. Mitchell, my best friend, who is an electrical engineer, so completely far from all of this, is incredibly supportive. My family, they're fine with it. I think it's funny. Like, I don't want to sound mean, but like, I don't think I do know. My parents don't even know like the name of the show. Like, my dad will lecture me about having wild dreams about making the podcast work or having a career in media. But then I literally one day I was like, you give me all this like shtick, but you know, what's my podcast called? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, all right, come on. You're going to give me all this shtick. You should at least know the name of what I'm doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dad watched a few of my old YouTube videos and it made me feel really uncomfortable just because like, and I get it. Like they always said to me, like, if you're going to put it out there, anyone can watch it. And I totally get that. But I'm also like, oh, it's kind of like when anyone watches my videos in front of me, I get a bit cringed out. But no, they're incredibly like,
it's natural.
They're incredibly, I've got the most amazing parents in the world. They're completely amazing. They've given me the most amazing life. They support me through everything. Unfortunately, I just think they are like in that age group where they don't understand the next step of like employment in media. And that's okay because we can educate them.
Absolutely.
Like you just said then about the whole BBC thing. Like unfortunately, it takes stuff like that and also takes money to get people to listen. And that's fine. It's never done with my parents' confusion of my podcast is never done through it's never hateful. It's more just confusion. And it's also like they're worried that maybe I'm putting all my eggs in one basket that won't supply a future, which is fair enough. They got to worry about me. I get it. But also I always say to them, like, you know, like I'd like to say I know what I'm doing, but either way, what about you, Sir Crispy?
With my folks,
with the old fam bam,
are lovely. Well, they are they're the most supportive people. Definitely, they've always championed my channel. The amount of like family barbecues and whatever, whenever we go to anyone's house, I'd say for a good 3 or 4 years there, they would always show people the I Heart the Doctor rap I made back in 2014. And then right after that, they would be showing the Taylor Swift parody.
Oh, good
like,
Jesus.
Sake, I've done so much more with the channel, but people like looking at the
I love that.
music videos.
Are those the viral? You know, they like to show the viral ones, don't they?
Yeah, the viral hits, the greatest hits.
They like to show. Crispy's greatest hits. Oh gosh, if that's my legacy, so be it. But no, they're very supportive in that case. But I 100% agree. I don't think they understand that I could turn this into a career. I feel like my parents have always been like, okay, you will have your 9 to 5.
Yeah,
but you should do this on the side.
Yeah, it's never in a bad way.
Explain to them multiple times. You know, like some weeks I 100% feel like I'm working 2 jobs. I feel like I'm working double time.
Yeah, legit.
Which is a lot. I'm sure you guys understand the fatigue.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys felt it doing your 25 days of Christmas. I have never tried daily on my channel. I can't believe you guys did that. I know. I remember I was chatting to Connor, who was like, "Yeah, no, that was intense." And then, of course, the trailer drops.
Yeah,
like, it just doesn't end.
Yeah, it didn't end. Yeah, it did not end.
Yeah, the workflow's hard. But yeah, no, my parents have always championed the channel, always been supportive. My
That's
mom
lovely.
Says, Oh, I'm about halfway through your episode 1 of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast, and she's been that for about 3 months. So proud of your mum.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. I get that. You know, I vlogged daily for 104 days when I left school.
You what?
I vlogged daily. Yeah, 104 days. I was prepared to become a fucking vlogger, and it, you know, I don't know. It drives you insane.
105th.
I don't know if it was 100.
No, he didn't vlog, did he?
I think it was. I think.
Camera ran out of battery. Finally.
You want your tea? You want your tea, everybody? I'll give you the tea. All right.
I want the teas.
I had just got back from England, and I was seeing a girl, and we
always a bloody woman.
We split ways, and I was too depressed to keep vlogging, and I said, "I'm putting a pin in it." So I pinned it. So we were dating for a solid 3 months, and it had to end at some point, and I couldn't juggle my breakup and vlogs. So this is starting to sound a bit accurate today.
I need to give you a hug, Connor. That's all I need.
No, it's okay.
I'm getting the next.
It's okay.
It's okay, Chris.
I could juggle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm coming in here.
Thank you, everybody. I love you all. But no, that's what happened. And then I was like, oh, screw it. I can't keep doing this. But I kept uploading to the channel. But my dad would watch more of those vlogs. But he always calls it, when he says the Doctor Who podcast, he always says, so you do your Doctor Who chat. I'm like, Dad, Christ's sake, you just learned the name. The Doctor Who chat. I'm like, come on. And like, he thinks Aiden is the fucking best thing since sliced bread. And I love Aiden. But I'm like, hey, I'm standing right here. Like, can you not just give me a compliment? He's like, he's got his head screwed on, but you fucking don't. So funny. I love that. But like, nah, they're great. Honestly, I love them so. I love them so much. They're fucking amazing. They're the most amazing parents. They really are. I want to ask you one final thing before you go. Of course. Because it is, so it's 8:49 here for us, but it's 10:49 for you?
Yeah, we're reaching 11 p.m.
Poor Crispy Pro. I'm so sorry. That's
all right, mate. That's all right. Honestly, this has been a more pleasant experience than half of the Zoom interviews I've done. So, you want the scoop, mate? You want the scoop, Connor? Is that all you wanted to get when I agreed to do this? You want the exclusive?
Yeah, a little bit.
You can have the exclusive.
I want the exclusive.
Here's the thing. Okay, everyone listening right now, you're in for a treat, all right? Here we go. I have filmed not 1, not 2, but 3 video essays in the similar format to how I did the Jamie Magnus Stone video. I filmed 3 of those.
Go off, King.
I was at the studio on Wednesday, and we set it up. We got some brand new lights, brand new cameras. I was filming with like a proper beautiful, it was a massive thing. And so I'm hoping to release one of those a month. The first of those being talking about the Series 8 leaks that happened.
Of course, I remember that. The first 5 episodes.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
I found some really, really interesting stuff. I found all the initial press releases from the BBC, what they responded with.
Yeah,
and
cool.
What exactly happened there, because the story there I did not know about until I was researching this video as to why they leaked. I know why they leaked now. I know what happened. I got the scoop, bro. But yeah.
Yeah, I won't say, but I think I know as well, and it's very interesting. So be sure to check out Crispy's video for that. I remember when, I don't know if you remember this, but the what was it? Season 7B DVD got released to a few people's houses early, and they got named the Doctor early.
So
and Stephen released a comment saying like, if you don't talk about it, will release like a David Tennant, Matt Smith sit down interview, and they had to like sit down together, filming the 50th, and like do like a video together. That's fantastic. Are you able to say what else you're working on, or is that a secret?
What else is happening? I mentioned something to you that I won't say publicly yet, but you know of a series that I'm working on.
Yes. Yes, that's very exciting.
That one is a lot of work, and I'm only 1/7 of the way there. So if anyone can read between the lines there, so there's a lot of good stuff coming along. I'm currently cooking right now, so let the man cook. That's all I'm saying.
All right,
cook.
Let him cook, folks.
Let the man cook.
Let him cook. Yeah.
And do you think this is the year that you and Troy actually get to meet in person in the UK? Is this actually happening? Or
wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that just be swell? If I can afford it, maybe. Well, here's the thing, because in my ideal world, I would love to be there for the 60th anniversary. That would be crazy, being in the UK for the 60th anniversary. But if I am there, I would love to go to 100 and try and get to the premiere of the 60th. But you see, that's hard. Maybe. No, I would love to do that, but I would have to book some flights, within the next few months or whatever. But I would have no idea when the premiere is, because they're usually a week before whenever the first episode airs. But we don't know what the release schedule is going to look like for that. So I could book my flights and then completely miss the premiere.
do you know what I think is going to happen, Crispy?
What?
I think, if you ask me, I think the BBC are going to invite you personally to go and watch it. If you ask me,
I doubt it.
Crispy,
Maybe if we clip this and put it online,
RTD's
maybe.
era. Okay, he is looking at people like us. The future of Doctor Who, as I keep saying, he is looking at people like us and saying, "These are the people that are promoting my show for free," which is
true.
the free is the good part. We'll send them here. I'm not saying me, I mean you, because they won't ask me. But
You can
they'll ask
fit in my bag.
Look, if they ask, I drop everything. I don't care if I don't get paid for 2 weeks. I'd go. I would go. If
Hands down.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I lose my job, I'd go, because that's like a once in a lifetime thing. It's worth it. I would just hop on a fucking plane and fly to UK to go to the 60th screening. But yeah, I reckon. Look, I'm not trying to play sides here, but I reckon when the 60th rolls around, they'll be like, hey, because I know they invited a few YouTubers to the centenary screening. Not a lot, but a few.
They've done a heap of stuff before. I remember talking. Like Ace Creeper George Sheard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I know Ace.
Yeah, he was invited to the set of Revolution of the Daleks.
That's right.
Back in the day.
That's right.
And he had to keep his mouth shut for like a year, and I was like, what? So who knows? And well, I mean, it's a completely new production team as well. We've got to keep that in mind. So, well, not new. Half of it's come back. But we'll have to see what they want to do in this new age. I would love to be able to pitch to the BBC, be like, hey, look, let me do a Twitter takeover for the 60. Not a Twitter takeover, a TikTok takeover or something like that. And be like, I'll do all the red carpet coverage. Just let me be there. You know? But who knows?
You'd be so dope for that as well. It's funny, like, speaking of like parents again, my dad's always like, why don't you just like email the BBC and tell them about your Doctor Who podcast? And I'm like, it's not really how it works. But I feel like if you make
not exactly
a big enough splash online, and you are the Australian, what's it called? The Australian
representative,
correspondent, of Australia. So, I think that's fantastic. Jimmy, so Crispy is the other 50% of the podcast. That means he does the same amount of work more efficiently. How does that feel, Crispy? Do you know what that means? Is that an inside joke I don't get?
No, am I working? As in like I do 50% of my podcast?
Yeah. Crispy, don't you hate how the guys, I'm talking about Troy and Aiden, who aren't here, don't you hate how they act like we do nothing?
They can't speak for themselves.
Don't you hate how they act like we do nothing? Like, what's that shit about?
We do absolutely nothing. Mate,
that's not true.
We are the heart.
Like, we do everything.
And soul of the podcast, mate.
We are the heart and soul.
Without us, there is no podcast. Good luck, Troy. and Aiden with your podcast without us. Good
Could
luck.
you imagine if we switched sides and just started our own show and Aiden and Troy had to start their own?
And then they do this.
Dude, come
and
on.
We're just
Ours would
rival
rock.
podcasts.
Ours would
so
rock.
Funny.
Okay.
Oh, ours would, mate.
Ours would slap. Okay.
We need to sort out a few technical difficulties, but I think we'd be fine.
Yeah, that's Dan's fault. All right. I had a guy comment on the Josh Sanders episode. He said episode was great, audio was atrocious, and I said I'll send that note to producer Dan.
Oh god.
I was like, that's the one thing I can't take blame for. I'm not trying to throw on the bus, Dan, but anyway, Crispy, I'll let you go to bed because it's 11 o'clock there in Brisbane.
Yeah, I'll tuck myself in.
Yeah, okay.
It's just
You can. Thank you so much for coming on.
Though.
I'm sorry
thank
about
you.
the technical difficulty. This is gonna be a short
That's
episode,
all
I'm
right.
sure. But look,
That's fine.
considering it's a short episode, we have been recording for an hour and a half. But the episode's probably gonna be like 40 fucking minutes. But either way, I apologize, everybody.
That's fine. That's fine.
We tried our best, okay, and that's all that matters
we-
in the end.
I have a question for you, Connor.
Go ahead, Crispy.
Has
Trying to high five you.
Aiden filmed a little thing from New Zealand for this week?
He has, but I don't really have any way to show you it.
You don't have to show me it. I'm just saying you can insert
But-
it right now.
What, to you, so you can watch it?
No, he's saying
No, in the video.
He's trying to do your job, and
I'm doing a
and
cutaway.
cut to Aiden. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm thinking
Crispy.
ahead.
Shit. Crispy. This is why you're.
I've been doing it for a decade, mate. Doing it for
This
a
is
decade.
why you're who you are. Yes, thank you so much, Crispy. You're right. Let's cut away to Aiden.
Hey, a 50% squad. How we doing? Been a hot minute, hasn't it? I know Connor's been doing a good job running the show without me. Hope you've all been really well. Still raining here in New Zealand. Had a few good days. Here's the van that I've been driving, which has been pretty elite, 7.2 meters long. Never thought I'd be driving something that long. I'm here in Tapo or something like that. There's Nicole in the van. But what I also want to show you is here. Bloody hell, mate! It's volcano day. That's a big old volcano right there. It is a dormant one, so nothing too much to worry about. But behind me, there's a lake with an active volcano, and we're currently on a level 1 alert of it erupting, which is fine. Sounds worse than it is. But every second of the day, I've been saying we're in Pompeii, and it's volcano day. Anyways, I'll let you go back to the show, and things will be back to normal very soon. Good to see you all either way, and yeah, see you soon.
I'll just cut that out and be like, let's cut away to Aiden. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't forget at all. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you so much. I think
Wow.
Aiden mentioned me the other day, and
Such insight.
he's like, oh, I sent the Sharda review with you and Crispy. And I said, I didn't do that with Crispy. And he was like, oh, fuck. So I'm not sure what the
dear.
video says. I haven't watched it yet. But either way, thank you for joining us, Crispy. We love you so much.
All right,
Honestly,
thank you.
like I said to Josh, I mean this with the bottom of my heart. You're like honestly one of my favorite creators. And it flabbergasts me that we even talk and that we're friends. And I'm like, for a guy who's pretty negative, I'm very grateful for all the love that you've given me, and I'm so grateful, and I love everything that we built together as friends. So thank you so much for coming on again.
No, thank you. From my end, I think you're like, we've never met in person, but just from what I've seen, I think you're one of the most optimistic creators that, I don't know. There's a twinkle to you. There's a little twinkle in your eye. There's
Got a job
spark,
to
and
do,
I like
you know.
that.
I got a job
You
to
got a
do.
job to do.
I think
do
you
it.
gotta like,
Let
as
the
an
man cook.
entertainer, you gotta switch on. Show must go on, because that's like my motto. Like no matter what you're feeling, the show must go on, and you gotta like keep.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going. You know things are hard at the moment, baby. What happened to YouTube Rewind this year? Quickly.
Oh, mate, that takes so much time.
Yeah, I
to
bet.
do.
Yeah,
And
they're
in
so
the
good
wind
though.
down-
They're so good.
Oh, thank you. In the
I love
wind
them.
down to the end of the year, it was just a nightmare.
Too
But,
hectic.
the year before, Farries and Confused Adipose did it, and I was wondering if I kind of like left the door open if they wanted to go ahead.
Wanted to
again.
do it. Yeah.
But
yeah.
then,
Okay.
Then no one said or did anything, so I was like, oh well. And we have a trilogy, which is nice. But maybe this year I'll
Maybe
be a
this
bit
year?
more
Yeah,
switched
now we're in
on.
January.
Maybe I don't know. YouTube
That's
Rewind,
awesome.
It's an interesting thing. But But
That's
anyway,
fantastic.
here we
But yeah,
are.
thank you so much for joining us. We love you, and I think we'll
mate.
we'll try to I'm planning this massive episode where you, me, Aiden, and Josh all review Twice Upon a Time.
Oh,
Not
wow.
Twice Upon Time. Twice Upon a
I
Time.
keep saying that too.
It's
because
so
of
they're
Once
so
Upon a
similar.
Time.
They're so similar. This
Yeah.
is Capaldi's last episode. I thought we could do like the Australia YouTuber event of the year and get us all four
Yeah.
together. So
Only
That might be the
my
next time we
one
do it.
condition. I'm happy to agree, but my one
Yeah.
condition, Connor,
Yeah.
is that I have to make the theme song for it. Okay.
of course, absolutely, I'd love that.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
completely
Thank you,
love
appreciate
that. That would be fantastic.
Cool.
Honestly,
Done,
I'd
I'm
love
sold.
that. And then apparently you said that you wanted to come on for Women Who Fell to Earth. So it might be a little
Yeah.
bit of a break
I'll be
between
back
those,
to
but
back.
you'll be back to back, baby. I'll give you a little bit of
Yeah.
break from the show. Maybe you need a little bit of a break from us. So especially after tonight.
Yeah, maybe after today he needs a
After
break.
tonight.
You may never see me again.
He ignores my DMs now. I don't know why.
What
Okay.
happened? What happened?
Thank you so much, Crispy. We love you. I'll let you
That's
go.
all right, mate. Thank you.
We'll
Absolute
do
honor.
the outro. You're always the best. All right. Hey. It's Aiden. Sorry. It's Crispy and Connor and Dan's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Do. Hey. Woo!
That
How's
was
that? Producer Crispy,
That-
how was that? As like a musical mastermind.
Look, we'll take that. We'll take it back to the studio. See what we can do.
Okay,
what
that's
we
how
can
it
do.
goes.
Love it.